On November 8, 1969, the San Francisco Chronicle received a greeting card containing a cipher made up of 340 symbols. It would take 51 years and a team of codebreakers from 3 different countries to finally crack it. But here's the thing that should keep you up at night: even after decoding his message, we still don't know who wrote it. The Zodiac killer has been dead, alive, named, unnamed, suspected, and cleared for over half a century. And the case? It remains officially open. It started on a cold Friday night, December 20th, 1968. Lake Herman Road, Benicia, California, a remote lover's lane just east of Vallejo. 2 teenagers, Betty Lou Jensen, age 16, and David Faraday, age 17, were parked in David's station wagon. Sometime around 11 p.m., a shooter approached the vehicle, fired into it, and killed them both. Betty Lou was shot 5 times in the back as she tried to run. David was shot once in the head at point-blank range. There were no known witnesses, no motive, no robbery, nothing taken. 7 months later, July 4, 1969, it happened again. Darlene Farron, 22, and Mike Majo, 19, were sitting in a car at Blue Rock Springs Park, less than 4 miles from the first crime scene. A man pulled up beside them, walked to their car, and opened fire with a 9mm handgun. Darlene was killed. But Mike survived, despite being shot 4 times. He would later describe the shooter as a heavy-set man, around 5'8", with a round face. 40 minutes after that attack, the Vallejo Police Department received a phone call. A calm male voice took credit for both shootings, the one that night, and the murders at Lake Herman Road. He provided details only the killer could have known. And then, he hung up. But what came next changed everything. On July 31, 1969, 3 nearly identical letters arrived at 3 different Bay Area newspapers: the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald. Each letter contained 1/3 of a 408-symbol cipher. The author demanded the newspapers print the ciphers on their front pages, or, he wrote, he would go on a killing rampage, picking off, quote, a dozen people over the weekend. He signed off with a crossed circle symbol. And for the first time, he used the name Zodiac. Now ask yourself, what would you have done if you were the editor? The papers printed the ciphers. Within a week, a high school teacher named Donald Harden and his wife Betty cracked the 408 cipher. The decoded message read, in part, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." But critically, the cipher did not reveal his name. He had taunted them with that possibility, and then withheld it. On September 27, 1969, the Zodiac escalated. At Lake Berryessa in Napa County, a man wearing a black executioner-style hood with the cross-circle symbol sewn onto the chest approached Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, 2 college students picnicking by the lake. He claimed to be an escaped convict. He bound them with pre-cut lengths of plastic clothesline. And then he stabbed them, Brian 6 times, Cecilia 10. Cecilia died 2 days later. Brian survived. After the attack, the killer walked to their car and wrote on the door with a black felt-tip pen the dates of his previous attacks and the words Vallejo and by knife. He was keeping score. But here's where it gets strange. 2 weeks later, October 11, 1969, a San Francisco cab driver named Paul Stein picked up a fare in the Presidio Heights neighborhood. That passenger shot Stein in the head with a 9mm pistol, tore a swatch of fabric from Stein's shirt, and walked calmly into the night. 3 teenagers witnessed the aftermath from a window across the street. They called police. Officers actually arrived within minutes. And according to official SFPD radio logs, 2 patrolmen, Don Falk and Eric Zelms, encountered a white male walking away from the scene. they let him pass. Why? The initial dispatch had erroneously described the suspect as a black male. By the time the description was corrected, the man had vanished into the Presidio. Let that sink in. 2 officers may have been face to face with the Zodiac killer and let him walk. In the weeks and months that followed, the letters kept coming. 17 confirmed communications in total, sent to newspapers and even to attorney Melvin Belly. He enclosed pieces of Paul Stine's bloody shirt as proof. He threatened to shoot children on school buses. He claimed a body count of 37, though investigators have only confirmed 5 murders and 2 survivors. The suspect pool was enormous. Over 2,500 individuals were investigated. The most famous suspect, Arthur Lee Allen, was scrutinized for decades. He lived near Vallejo. He owned a Zodiac brand watch with the crossed circle logo. A friend claimed Allen had spoken of wanting to kill people and call himself Zodiac before the murders began. He was even linked to the case by surviving victim Mike Mageau in a 1991 photo lineup. But DNA collected from the stamps on the Zodiac's letters did not match Arthur Lee Allen. His fingerprints didn't match latent prints recovered from Paul Stine's cab. Allen died in 1992 without ever being charged. In 2020, a team of independent codebreakers, David Orenchak, Sam Blake, and Jarl Van Eyck, finally cracked the 340 cipher, 51 years after it was mailed. The message read, in part, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." Once again, no name. No address. No confession beyond what was already known. Just more taunting. In 2021, a cold case team called the Casebreakers publicly named Gary Francis Post, a house painter who died in 2018, as their primary suspect. They cited forensic evidence and anagram analysis of the Zodiac's letters. But the FBI and the San Francisco Police Department immediately responded. The case remains open. Post has never been officially confirmed or cleared. So where does that leave us? Here is what we know for certain. 5 people are confirmed dead. 2 survived and gave descriptions. 17 letters were authenticated. Multiple ciphers were sent and 2 have been solved. Over 2,500 suspects have been investigated across more than 50 years. DNA evidence exists but has never produced a definitive match. And the case remains officially open with both the FBI and SFPD. Here is what we don't know. We don't know his real name. We don't know if he truly killed 37 people, or if that was another layer of his mythology. We don't know if he's alive or dead. We don't know if the DNA on those stamps even belongs to him or to someone who licked them on his behalf. What disturbs me most isn't the violence. It's the silence. After 1974, the confirmed letters stopped. The Zodiac either died, was incarcerated for something else, moved away, or simply stopped. And in some ways, that's the most terrifying possibility of all, that someone capable of this level of calculated brutality could just decide to quit. Could blend back into ordinary life. Could sit next to you on a bus, bag your groceries, attend your church. Do you think the Zodiac's identity will ever be officially confirmed? Or did he win the game he was playing all along? This has been Obscura Files. If this case unsettles you as much as it unsettles me, leave your theory in the comments below. I read every single one. Hit subscribe if you're new, and tap the bell so you're notified the next time we pull another case from the darkness. Because some mysteries don't end with answers. They end with better questions. I'll see you in the next one.